And now a Mexico moment with Nate.
Hello, and welcome to another Mexico moment with Nate and Alexis. I'm Nate, and this is my wife, Alexis.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Episode number 2. So I think last time we were talking about how we were going to Tulum to watch our friend Tom and Cindy's dog and stay at their place for a week while they went to Mexico City. So
Yep.
we did that, and I believe we were discussing how we didn't have like the greatest opinion on Tulum, but we really hadn't experienced it yet.
Right.
So after staying there for a week, Lex, how do you feel?
Well, what are you gonna say?
And I was just saying, and to be clear, so Tulum is it's divided into kind of two areas. There's the beach Tulum, where a lot of the resorts and the clubs and the restaurants and everything are. And then there is like the city of Tulum. So it's kind of like Daytona and Daytona Beach. So the city of Tulum is, while there are tourists and stuff there, it's a little more localized, a little cheaper, more kind of local taco stands and restaurants and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think?
I kind of felt about the same, I would say. I don't know. There's, like you're saying, there's the city of Tulum and then the beach area, tourist area of Tulum. So I feel about the same. Maybe the touristy area isn't for us, and we're more of like a city kind of vibe now. But I know we used to like the touristy areas when we used to come down, but it's still beautiful. It's exploded. It's just like built up so much since we've been, and it's only been like what, couple years since we've been to Tulum last.
Yeah. So I kind of have the same vibe. I like the beach side. If you want to go to Tulum and stay in, maybe a little pricier resort, kind of the vibes of the restaurants and stuff, it's like that bohem kind of, like I was saying.
Everything's new, like bohem, boho.
Everything's made out of wood.
Yeah.
So it's definitely really cool. We took our friend Tom's scooter down there 2 different days.
That was fun.
Yeah, we did the beer chug, and we went to we stopped by. So for instance, we went to this beer place called Tulum Brewing Company, or no, was it beer company?
Yeah.
Whatever. It wasn't a brewing anything. It was one of those places that just sell other people's beer, which is totally fine. So we're like, oh, it's a really nice day out. We're going to take the scooter down there, stop off for a beer. We played a little Jenga. They were one of those table Jengas.
It was fun. Cool place. Very nice.
Yeah, definitely. So we each get 1 beer, and we're like, oh, we better get back to the dogs. And I go up to the bar to settle up our tab. And I'm thinking, I had like 100 pesos on me, which is around $5. And I'm like, well, it's going to be more than that. So it's probably going to be like, $5 a beer or something. So I was like, I'll just pay with my card. So I asked her for the check. And the check comes back, and it's 438 pesos,
Oh my God.
which is about $23 US. So if that tells you anything, that's kind of what you might be looking at if you're going to the beach side of Tulum. $23 for 2 beers. And
little pricey, ridiculous.
Yeah, a little pricey.
I would have complained if you're so lucky you went up to pay by yourself. I would have been like, what?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So they came out to like $9-10 a beer, and they included the tip, which I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, that's
Let me
different.
tip you.
Yeah.
And then the Tulum side, which is the more localized side. Oh, we had the best tacos. We had those rib meat tacos, tortas. They have the best like fresh juices and stuff.
We ate some really good food. Every day we were eating food.
Surprisingly, great barbecue in Tulum.
Very good barbecue.
Because it is hard to get decent barbecue here. One of the incidences we had was we went to a taco place, and the tacos were like 20 some pesos, so like a buck each. We each got 3, and then I got 3. You wanted a smoothie.
Yeah.
And I just wanted a juice. I just got coconut pineapple juice. So I go and pick out my tacos because it's kind of like an a la carte type of line. And go sit down, and Alexis already has her smoothie. But they gave you 2?
Yeah, she gave me, it was like, I ordered a mediano, and she brought out 2. And I was like, oh, okay. She didn't really say anything. I'm like, thank you. She said my name, Alexis. Here's your smoothie. I'm just thinking, oh, okay, they made a little too much, and they poured it in there. Because they weren't like full cups. They kind of looked, a little bit lower. So it's fine. I'm like, great, share at the table. And that wasn't it.
Yeah. So then the kind of server lady, I guess, comes out with my smoothie because there's a lady in the back just juicing. She's just making smoothies and juice.
One
That's her
juice
job.
lady, one guy taking orders, one guy making sandwiches.
And the lady comes out and calls my name, says Nate, and I was like, yeah. So she gives me the juice, and it's a smoothie, and it looked exactly like yours.
Looked like mine. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, whatever. At that point, we were so hungry and just thirsty. I was like, whatever. I don't give a shit. Like, they made the wrong one. Whatever. It happens.
Whatever. It's still good.
So I'm drinking it, and I'm about half done with it. And then another waitress comes out with the juice. Did she call my name again?
She did.
Yeah.
Nate?
Yeah.
Nate?
Yeah. They don't know Nate. They know Nate. And she came out with which is actually my juice.
Yeah.
No, she went over to the other guy first, the table next to us.
Yeah, there must have been another Nate.
So I think I got his smoothie, and then they were trying to give him my juice.
Yeah.
So then she brings it over to me, says my name, brings it over to me, and I was like, oh, yeah. And so our buddy Tom, that is, fluent in Spanish, was speaking to her and kind of told her, what was going on. You guys brought out two, and then you brought out this other one, but you guys called his name, whatever. And so then she puts my drink down, and the correct one, and leaves, and then comes back, and they made us pay for it.
Can't even believe it.
Yeah. So even though they fucked up, apparently it was my fault. I didn't speak up and say something. I was just like, whatever. I don't care. You made the wrong one. So I guess since I drank that guy's juice, I had to pay for another juice. Ugh. It was just fucking ridiculous.
I don't know how there were so many juices. We each ordered a beverage, and that was it. But somehow they brought us out 4 other drinks. And we're like, this was not what we ordered.
But that is kind of how it is here. You can send something back if it is wrong. Yeah. Right.
Undercooked, something like that.
Yeah. But if you just don't like it, or you thought you were like, oh, I'm sorry, like, my dad will do this every now and then, which is totally fine. But he'll order a beer, and then if he doesn't like it, he'll send it back. And usually in the States, they'll be like, oh, yeah, no problem. Let me grab you something else, because they want to promote their beer. Mexico ain't like that. No. These are like mom and pop shops. They're forking out money for the supply or the food supplies to make these meals and the drinks and everything like that. So if you don't like something, that ain't on them. Yeah. They're not going to just like eat the cost just because you ordered something you didn't know what the fuck it was.
Apparently, if they bring you out double smoothies, you have to pay for that as well. Yeah, so next time we know.
Something we learned. And I think last week we were talking about going to Chichen Itza. Yep. We had never been. We've been trying to go. Actually, we didn't want to go because it was kind of like the one to go to and a little too touristy, we thought.
And it's a little far from Playa del Carmen.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours. But we always said if we were going to go, we wanted to go on the equinox because as we said last week, it's a special event. It only happens twice a year. The Chichen Itza El Castillo, the pyramid is situated so twice a year the shadow of a snake kind of shines on the side of the the stairway that's going down, and at the bottom there's the head. Yep. So that's like kind of a major thing. People come from all over to see it. So and it was on Monday, so we thought, oh, this will be a great day to go. People are maybe the locals are working, and then the tourists maybe have just gotten in town or they're just leaving. So we thought it'd be a good day.
And the weather wasn't the best. It was raining all week off and on. So we're like, no one's gonna be here. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, so we find a car rental, and we rent the car and drive the 2 hours out there, and it's cloudy the whole fucking day.
So cloudy.
So we're like, great, we did this whole deal, and we're not even gonna be able to see the snake, the serpent. So we get there, and it's like kind of cloudy, not cloudy. It's overcast.
Yeah, the sun's trying to come out. We're hopeful.
And this is supposed to happen at 4:30, and it only lasts for like a few minutes or 10 minutes or something.
Yeah. We got there early. We got there at like 2.
Yeah, because we thought it was going to be really busy. Yeah. We get there, it was really fucking busy.
There was a lot of people there.
There was a tons of people parked. There's just like tour buses coming in. It was a shit ton of people.
I can imagine more people there though. On like a really nice hot day, a normal tourist day, a Saturday or something, I could see a ton of people there.
Right. Yeah, so we're just kind of walking around the grounds because there's not just the pyramid there. There's tons of other buildings and
different
ruins and structures. And so we're like, all right, well, it's cloudy and we're probably not going to see this thing, so might as well make the best of it. So we started walking around, and looking at the different ruins.
Taking
and then we come
pictures.
back maybe like 10 minutes before to see if anything was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like if because it looked like the clouds were about to break. 5 minutes before 4:30, the clouds open up, the sun comes out, and then the snake kind of figure starts to appear. And it starts low, and then it goes higher, obviously, as the sun goes down.
Everyone's freaking out.
Oh, everyone lost their mind. Woo! It was like a fucking concert. Everybody's cheering. Yeah.
Lots of clapping. Everyone would clap. Every time the sun would come out, woo! Clapping.
So it was everything we could have hoped for. It was very cool. I mean, I would say go regardless if this is going on or not, but just to be there on the equinox, we've been trying to go for like 5 years. So it was really cool to finally see it and get there.
Really cool. It was unbelievable that the sun came out right at the perfect time, and then it actually went away again and then came back again. It did that like 3 times when we were there. It
Couldn't have been a better timing. So we drive back, and we have the car overnight. So we're going to return the car the next day, and then I think we took off that day. Maybe the following, I don't know. But the next morning, so where we had the gas level, it was about 3/4 of the tank full when we got it. So, and that's what you want to return it at, right? So you don't get charged.
Exactly.
When we came back and we parked for the night at our buddy's place, we had like one little, it was a digital gas thing.
Digital gas gauge, whatever.
So it had one little bar lower than what we were supposed to be back at. And I was like, all right, we'll just put like $5 in the morning. Because on the way back, we put in 400 pesos, and that got us up 4 bars. So we're thinking, okay, $100 or 100 pesos per bar.
Yeah.
So we just need one more, put in 100 pesos. So in the morning we're going to return the car. It has to be returned in like 30 minutes. Go to the gas station, put in 100 pesos, and it doesn't go up at all.
Nothing.
And I'm like, shit. Okay, well,
Figures.
sometimes it takes a little bit, but we're driving around for a few minutes and it didn't move. And I'm like, all right, well, maybe it's right on the line.
Yeah.
You know, it's just over it. So maybe if we just put in another 100 pesos, whatever, it's around $5. We'll be able to bump it up over to this threshold that we're trying to get to. We go to another gas station because I felt stupid going back to the same one.
Yeah.
And
luckily there was like 4 on the same corner.
Yeah. And then put in 100 pesos, doesn't move.
Womp womp.
We're like, okay, well, this is getting close. We got to return the car because we also get charged if we don't return it in time.
Yeah.
We go to a third gas station, put in another 100 pesos, doesn't move again.
Nothing.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
We're going to be late.
So now we put in like almost $15 and it hasn't gone up even 1 bar. Yeah. So we're like, what the hell? We put in 400 before, we put in 300 now. And that one moved us up 4 bars. This one hasn't moved at all. So I'm like, okay, I only got 200 pesos in cash on me left. It was like around $10. So I'm like, let's just put it all in.
Let's do it.
Do whatever. Fuck it. Like, we just need to get this back. We had to be back in like 5 minutes at this point. So
Yeah.
we're freaking out. We go to the last gas station, or the fourth gas station.
Yeah, 4 of them.
I was like, put 200 pesos in. He goes and he starts filling it up, and it stops at like 96 pesos. And he's like, it's full.
Okay, great.
I'm like, wait, it's full? It doesn't, it says it's not even 3/4 of a tank.
Yeah.
And you're saying, let's call the rental company.
I know.
And I'm like, what the fuck are they going to do? They're going to like, hey, put in the gas. You got to bring it back at the level, or it doesn't matter. I don't care what's going on at the gas station.
I like to give people a heads up. I know it's better, like, maybe we don't say anything and get away with it, but he said, message me on WhatsApp if you have any problems. I'm like, we could just message him and say, hey, has this happened before? Whatever. This is what we're experiencing. Probably he'd be like, shut up and get the car back here. I don't really care, not respond, but, you know, it's worth a shot.
Yeah. So we're like, all right, well, it has to be back. We're going to get charged another $20 for it being late. So let's just take it back. Pray for the best, because we're returning it lower than it's supposed to be. And I don't know how I'm going to explain it to him. Like, no, trust me. It's full. The tank is full. Trust me.
I know. And you don't get receipts at any of the gas tanks or the gas stations because you pay with cash.
Yeah. I mean, you could get a receipt.
You can't pay with card or whatever.
Yeah, but we didn't, you know. So so we get there, and I'm like, okay, the guy that's like going through the car and checking to make sure there's no dings or dents or anything, and he takes a picture of the gas, and I'm like, shit. So I tell you to run inside and like give this guy a heads up what's going on.
He was really nice. I went in, I'm like, so we have a problem, and oh, yeah, we know the digital gas gauge doesn't work sometimes, or it doesn't work as quick. It takes a while to show up. Like, don't even get through my spiel of everything that we went through and went wrong in the gas stations and all that stuff. No, I already knew. It's no problem. Here's your receipt. Here's your deposit back. Have a nice day. Like, Worried for nothing. Mexico.
Like,
we should have known Mexico.
Well, not only were we worried for nothing, it irritates me because then now we gave them like a quarter tank of gas for free because their thing didn't work, and so they're probably doing it to the next person. It's gonna be 3/4 of the tank full or a little bit less, and then they're gonna say, "Hey, bring it back here," and they're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna be like, "Fill it up."
Yep.
They're probably just getting free gas out of those sons of bitches.
But like what? Like 90 pesos or something,
true.
I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So that was our little car fiasco, returning it in Tulum. And God, this is turning into Black Cloud.
I know. Tulum was a great time, but we had some issues come up. But
But speaking of Black
Mexico.
Cloud, it was raining, like you said, for a good amount of the time.
Rained a lot.
So one night we decided to go out for dinner.
Yeah.
It was getting a little cloudy, overcast. And we go and we eat dinner and it's great. And we go to leave and it's just pouring. Just pouring.
And you didn't even hear it inside.
No. And of course we walked there to this restaurant.
Yep.
And there was a grocery store next door. And so we'd already eaten dinner and Alexa's like, "Oh, I want a little dessert."
Best desserts in Mexico everywhere, especially Tulum. There's desserts all over the place, muffins and
But the
cookies.
grocery stores have really good bakeries.
So good. Chedraui, Selecto, my favorite bakery ever.
Yeah. And we also have a little camera set up in my buddy's place. We usually bring a security camera when we go on vacation or go on trips. If we bring Tiger, because we want to watch him in the hotel room or whatever when we're gone to make sure he's good. He's not like crying or, whatever.
You just never know. He's old. Just check in
just
on
make
him
sure
once
he's
in
okay.
a while.
And so we set one up in our friend's place to watch Tiger and their dog Sky.
Yeah.
And while we're at the restaurant, we check in on the cameras, and Sky had jumped up on the couch. Now, Sky is like 16 years old.
Yeah.
Has the same issues as Tiger. Hips are kind of going, just slow, and
very slow.
sleeps most of the day.
Yeah.
Sky jumped up on the couch, which is not normal. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe she's like, we're out of the house. She's just taking her opportunity to get some comfiness on the couch.
being a little sneaky or something. It took her a minute, too, to get up there. So very shocked.
Didn't think anything of it. And then, like I said, when we were leaving the restaurant, it was pouring. Alexa stayed at the restaurant, and I ran to the grocery store next door to go get, we got like a muffin or something like that.
Some desserts.
So I got a couple desserts. Then it started to lighten up a little bit. It was just sprinkling at this point. So I walked back, grab Alexis. We walk back to our buddy Tom's place. And when we go in, I'm unlocking the front door, and you're looking in the window.
Yep.
And you see some water, and you're like, oh, great, Tiger peed.
I know. I'm like, oh, no, that's not like him, but he's getting older, so we're worried. And I'm like, oh,
and
man.
luckily the floors are like cement, so we're like, okay, we'll just clean it up,
Obviously.
And then we open the door, and there's like water on the floor, and it's not pee. And I was like, oh no. And it'd been raining, so we're like, oh, is there a leak somewhere?
Yeah.
And we look in the bedroom, and there's water in there. And then we look in the kitchen, there's water all over the floor there.
Everywhere. Couldn't even believe it.
We look in the guest room where we're staying, there's water. I'm saying there's water on the floor. There was 1.5 inches of water on the ground.
Yeah.
Like it was flooded. Like we were standing in water.
Our room was the worst. It was super deep because the front of the house, I guess, is lower. So it all went to our room, like mainly, but everywhere. We're freaking out. And we're at your buddy's house. We're worst case scenario. We're just freaking out.
Right. Yeah. We're watching our friend's place, and the place is flooded, which, wasn't our fault because it was pouring out. It was like torrential rain. But I'm just losing. I'm like, oh no. What do we do?
What do we do? We've never been through like a flood. Our house has never flooded before.
Well, thank God there's no carpet in Mexico.
Thank God.
Basically what we did was get everything off the floor that was, could be ruined or electronic, like my laptop. It was plugged in, and I go to unplug it, zap myself.
Oh my God.
You
were like, "Aye."
I got a little electrocuted. And then luckily he had a squeegee.
Giant squeegee.
Yeah,
like a mop squeegee.
So Alexis is sweeping with a broom, sweeping the water out into the hallway, and then I'm squeegeeing it out the front door.
Oh my God.
We worked on this for like hours. And we're calling my buddy, and it's his birthday, and he's in Mexico City, and I'm like, bro, I'm so sorry to make this call to you right now.
We had to let him know. We couldn't, hide it till the next day.
Do you let him know, or do you not say anything till the next day?
I think you kind of like assess the situation, see what you can do, no matter like what's going on, and then you have to update them. It's their house. They just moved into not too long ago, so they have a new couch, a new furniture, a new bed, and luckily the majority of their furniture and the couch are on really nice kind of like feet. They all had really nice metal kind of different style feet. So everything was up and didn't get too ruined. But I would want to know if it's my house. I mean, maybe not immediately, but once you can tell me like what happened or what are you doing about it, or do you need my help?
Yeah. So we find out it is not a leak in the ceiling, even though there was a little drip going on. That was not it.
Nope.
I was like recording underneath the bed in the guest room, and you can hear like bubbles and stuff. So I'm like, oh no, it's coming up from the foundation. Is a pipe burst or something? Yeah. But when we were in the kitchen, we noticed that there was this towel in the middle of the kitchen. Mm-hmm. We come to find out that since it rained so much, the spout that was coming down from the roof was going into their backyard. And they have, kind of an enclosed cement slab in their backyard. The drain to drain that got clogged with all the debris from the roof. So the backyard started filling up, went over the lip of the door, like the door frame, and there's a towel there that they have to like dry your feet off or whatever.
Yeah, puppies.
The water had pushed it all the way like halfway through the kitchen.
Came right under the door.
Yeah.
Right
and we looked on the security cameras. This water came in fast.
It filled up quick. The dogs, the poor puppies were like freaking out, like, what's going on?
Oh yeah, Tiger's sitting there in his bed, like his soaking wet bed, and he's just looking at the camera. And you know that meme where the dog is sitting in the fire, like the kitchen's on fire,
yes.
The dog's sitting there, and he's like, everything's fine. This is just fine.
It is fine. I'm fine.
that is exactly how Tiger looked, because he's bouncing around. He does not run really.
No.
And he was bouncing around this like, shit, we're going to drown. Send help. Get Timmy out of the well.
Get him out. Help. Send an SOS. Thank God we had the camera on. But yeah, Tiger was like, this is not right. Someone's going to be angry. We didn't do this.
Yeah. So we got it all dry. Thank God it was just cement floors and everything. But, oh, my God, that was stressful, and I felt so horrible. But they were actually happy that we were there to do something about it. Because if they were gone and they didn't have anyone at the house, their whole house would have been ruined.
It would have sat there for almost a week, like 4 or 5 days, just like that. Oh, my God.
So, yeah, all in all, Tulum trip was great. We had a lot of fun, delicious food, delicious tacos. But yeah, so I would recommend going if you're interested in going. I wouldn't say don't go. Just be aware if you're going to go to the beach side, it's going to be a little pricier probably.
Yeah, ask how much things are, like prepare yourself, watch at the gas station, just like you do at home, but you got to ask here. You can't just assume prices. We usually do ask, but we didn't think,
Without one beer, I mean, how expensive can it be?
Exactly.
Okay, let's get to some listener questions.
Yeah.
All right, the first one is, where would you say is the best place to visit in Mexico besides where you guys live currently? And that's from Becky S.
Cool.
Well, we've done our fair share of traveling in Mexico, and the places we've been to, we've enjoyed. We've been to, let's see, Mexico City, Cabo San Lucas, Campeche, Bacalar, Valladolid, Mérida, Holbox. They all kind of have their different things. Like Bacalar and Holbox are both in our area. Campeche is in the state of Campeche. And that city was beautiful.
Love
so
Campeche.
It was like kind of a colonial, like walled city. They had a wall all the way around it. So there's a lot of history there. It's very clean. All the buildings are different pastel colors.
Very nice architecture.
Yeah, really nice architecture. We really enjoyed that. We love Mexico City.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
It's one of the biggest cities on the planet. The food is so good. There's free museums. There's just art and history and culture. It's like going to New York, kind of, maybe without all the rats. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's a great city. Very forward thinking. Everything's green and recycle this and that, and how they can reuse things. It's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's a city that has kind of everything. We really love Cabo San Lucas. Yeah. It's beautiful there. It's on the west side of Mexico.
Gorgeous. The fish in the water, it's like the whole cast of Nemo is in the water there.
Yeah. and it's a little like it's like the west coast of our area. It's a little touristy. There's a lot of, Americans and Canadians and stuff that will come down from on the west side of the US and Canada. But then there's some places that we haven't been yet that we'd like to go, and we'd like to go to Oaxaca, Puerto Escondido, let's see where else, San Cristobal and Chiapas. Like Chiapas is kind of more of a mountainous area. They're really well known for their coffee, really cool cathedrals and architecture and stuff like that. So it kind of just depends on what you want to get into. If you want to do, a beachy type of vacation, our area is beautiful, and the West Coast, the Baja Peninsula. But if you like some culture and some history and, Mayan ruins and stuff, or actually maybe more Aztec ruins near Mexico City, central Mexico is a great place for that.
Oh, yeah.
And then, the southwest side of Mexico is and then, what's the place that everybody also vacations to? Puerto Vallarta. But we'd also like to go to like Guadalajara, Monterrey. I mean, there's so many places, and they all have their different things. So there's a lot of great places to visit in Mexico.
I think that's a good way to think about it, though. It depends what you want to do on your trip. Is it more of a vacation, relax, like you're saying, or do you want to see more culture and history so that you can get both things in a lot of different places in Mexico? But kind of depends if you want to stay more on the beach or inland.
Yeah. All right, next question. Have you had any serious problems or been irritated over the language difference so far? And that's from Caden. Not serious problems. Yeah. I think that the most frustrating thing is just with ourselves, because we have a lot of friends here that have been here for 10, 14 years.
Yeah.
And they're fluent in Spanish. I think a lot of times we compare ourselves to them and we get kind of frustrated, even though we've only been here a year and a half or almost a year and a half. And we've learned a lot and can get around fine. Groceries, restaurants, taxis, bars, whatever. Like most of the basics, we can get and we can understand. We just maybe aren't able to speak back in full conversations.
Yeah, we're just not conversational yet. That's
so
it, but we're working.
And also, we are in an area that does speak a lot of English. And that's actually one of the most frustrating things is since there are so many tourists in our area, a lot of the locals, the local Mexicans, know how to speak English or are learning to speak English. So a lot of times we'll go to a restaurant and try and practice our Spanish, and they will speak back to us in English. So we're speaking Spanish, they speak English, we speak Spanish back to them, they speak English back to us. And it's kind of frustrating because we're trying to learn. And we asked one of them, what's going on? And he said, we are trying to learn our English too. And so they're practicing their English, which I totally respect and understand. But it's a little difficult when you're trying to speak. So I think that's mainly the most frustrating thing. And a lot of context clues really help too.
Oh,
you're at the grocery store and somebody says something, let's say, when we first got here, they would always ask us something at the grocery store and we could never understand what they were saying.
What do you want?
But just by the context clues, we figured out they're asking for a rewards card. So our grocery store has a rewards card where you
phone number, whatever.
Save money and get points and stuff like that. But there's a lot of context clues and stuff like that. So really the most irritating thing has just been ourselves. We're just hard on ourselves. But we're getting there and we're practicing and we're learning every day. So it's not too bad.
Yeah. We've learned a lot since just in a year and a half. We've learned so much vocabulary, so many different things. You can learn Spanish all day long, but if it's not the proper Spanish for the area you're in Mexico, it might hurt you because everybody kind of has a little bit different slang, a little bit different, accent, just like in the United States. So we're kind of trying to figure out our area of speaking and other areas.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say irritated, but one of the things that is a thing is if you speak Spanish, you're going to either get a better deal or get better service often. So a taxi, if you jump in a taxi and you ask them how much it is in English, they can tell you whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
But if you get in and you speak in Spanish and you should know how much the taxi should be. There's a map and there's kind of a general idea of how much a taxi should be from one area to the next. And if you tell them that that amount in Spanish, then they know okay, this person lives here. They know what the fuck's up. I'm not going to try to maybe jack up the taxi fare.
And you can tell they appreciate when you're trying, even if we might fumble through a new sentence or a word or say it a little bit wrong. You can tell they really appreciate when you're trying to learn the language and you're trying to converse in their language. So, which totally understandable.
It's very humbling. Yeah, I mean, I know.
Yes.
It's kind of certain people or places will kind of joke about how Hispanics in the U.S. speak, with an accent or say something wrong or something. it makes you really appreciate what they're doing, because most of us in the U.S. have not lived in a place where you cannot communicate with the other. I mean, there's thousands of people around you, but you can't converse with them.
Yeah, or you don't know what they're saying around you.
Yeah, and that's just like
a little scary.
Yeah, when it gets to like a point in the conversation where we don't know what they're saying, it's frustrating, but it's frustrating to us because we don't know. And you feel like a dumbass every day.
Yeah.
Either not knowing what they're saying or saying something wrong and then they correct you, which they're just being helpful.
Yeah.
But you just have to, it's very humbling. You just have to get used to feeling like an idiot often.
It is definitely very humbling when you see those memes or whatever, like get outside of your comfort zone and that's how you grow. We are outside of our comfort zone most days and you feel it. And we're like, why are we so exhausted? Oh yeah, I just learned a whole new,
phrase or
and I have to remember
Yeah.
this but it's great. I think also too, because we're very happy, kind of talkative, friendly people. We like to converse with people. We like to meet new people and learn about them in different places. So when we can't communicate fully, it's frustrating for us. We're like, I want to be friends and I can't, or I'm trying to.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and the last one for today is the weed good? And that is from Chad C.
Excellent question, Chad.
Yeah, yeah, it is actually, and it's. If you've been on vacation and maybe just bought some shit off the dude off the street, it's probably not good.
No.
You're probably just getting like,
High
regs
school.
or dirt weed.
High school district weed.
But the guy that we go through, and to be clear, some people ask us when they come to Mexico, like, oh, how are or where's the closest dispensary, or how are the dispensaries?
No.
Weed is not legal in Mexico yet.
No.
It is, from what I've understand, and I haven't like researched it recently, but the Mexican Supreme Court struck down the law saying that weed is illegal. They just haven't passed any legislation saying that it is legal, or to open dispensaries or things like that. So, so it is, just so you know, if you're on vacation, it is still technically illegal. Or even if it is legal right now, the local cops don't give a fuck. They're still gonna write you a ticket and try to get some money out of you.
Yeah, just be cautious of it.
But like my guy that I go to, I know well, and I feel like I'm in like Sopranos or something. Like I go meet him at the track, and we have a local soccer team here, or football, and called Interplaya, and there's a track that goes around there or in their stadium, and you can go there any time of the day and run on the track and do whatever and exercise. And so I meet my guy there, and he actually comes in a track suit, and I meet him there, and we do a lap, and then he hands me the stuff. I hand him my pesos. We do a little deal there, but he usually has highs, mids, and lows. So he'll have like low grade stuff for a certain price, a little bit more. He has some mid grade, and then if you want some like good stuff that you could probably get at like a dispensary in the United States, he has that as well. So the weed, it can be good and as bad as you want. How much money you want to pay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So So okay. Well, those are our listener questions for the day, and we will close out the show with doing the slang word of the day.
Ooh, very fun. I'm excited.
The Mexican slang of the day is brought to you by Inspect All Pest Services. Inspect All Pest Services provides high-quality termite, pest, and wildlife control. But that's not all they do. Inspect All can take care of your insulation, pressure washing, gutter maintenance, and other home services in Metro Atlanta and the surrounding area. And don't forget to mention the BS. You get 10% off. You can reach Inspect All at 770-483-2420. That's 770-483-2420. All right, Lex, you ready for the Mexican slang word of the day?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
And if you didn't hear our first episode, this is a word that is used in like Mexican Spanish, where it may not be used in every Spanish-speaking country, but it's just kind of like a slang word that we've learned or are learning while we've been here. Okay, the word of the day is chela. So chela is it's a slang for beer. So the word comes from the beer cocktail michelada, which is it's when they mix the beer with lime and chili and tomato juice. It's almost like kind of like a Bloody Mary with beer.
Yeah, I've tried it. They're good.
Yeah.
They like them here a lot.
So chela is, to me, it's kind of like saying brewski. Whenever instead of ordering a cerveza and I say, can I get a chela? They'll kind of like smile at me. Like,
yeah, they know.
Yeah, it's probably, like I'm saying like brewski or something. So that's kind of the impression I got. And then we also, the one brewery that we do have here in Playa del Carmen is Chela de Playa, which just means beach beer, basically. That's so you could say something like "Dame dos chelas para mí y mi esposa." So give me 2 chelas for me and my wife.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So that's a little slang word you can use if you're at the resort and you want to order a beer. Just say chela, una chela.
Una chela, una más chela, por favor.
All right, that was the Mexican slang of the day. And if you got any more questions for us or comments or anything, go to the 2%ers group. And I think I'm going to put a form on the podcastthebs.com. Ooh. So if you think of any questions and you just want to shoot them over to us, you can do that and you'll email them straight to us.
That'll be great. Yeah. Keep them coming. We love them.
All right. Well, until next week, you got anything, Lex?
That's it. Hasta luego. And we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
Get off my lawn. It's old man Kevin, and the BS is done for right now.
Please share, like, and support podcastthebs.com.
Now, get out of here.